Okay. If I remember properly, we stopped our lecture before insert. Yeah, how to insert new data or not. Hmm? Am I correct? Create order. Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay. I already added code after lecture immediately after the last lecture, and I'll just mm, I'll just explain how does it work and what happens here. So in this case, no. Yeah. Just a moment. Okay, we stopped. We stopped to create our receipt, our order into our database. So, how does it work, and why do we need that? Firstly, we need to have a way to manage transactions. We discussed about that transactions are hardly necessary if you insert manually handling transaction. Hardly necessary if you insert several pieces of data in the database, or you must insert all data or nothing. If you don't, if you cannot insert all data, you must stop inserting and roll back all changes. Okay. How does it work? Firstly, in our case, inserting the order goes over two steps. Okay. Firstly, we insert the order. The second step is inserting order items. So, and that must be in transaction. To handle this transaction, manually handling transaction, we added new method getConnection, which allows us to set false after commit and remove after commit feature. Okay, disable after commit feature. So in this case, if after commit is disabled, we must handle it manually. If it's all okay, we will commit all changes. If any other things happened here, we must roll back transactions, but there is nothing here. Why? Because it's moved into the insert function. Okay. Yeah, I added additional method which takes the original data and connection. Why? Because we need to execute several data in one connection. Yeah, we process several statements in one connection. It's not necessary to create every time for each. Moreover, if you close connection, you will not be, the connection cannot be closed if the transaction is on its way. Okay, so we must, in this case, execute statements in one connection, in the same connection. Okay, let's go ahead, and here we use tried with the source, wrote the query with two parameters, account ID and status ID. Account ID is owner, order owner, and status ID, the default status, which must be set into the order. Okay, so, and if we insert data, we need to understand we must add return generated keys is the constant in the statement interface. Okay, so this constant allows us to get after the execution generated keys. Okay, super. So one moment. Account ID can be null. Can be null. In this case, if we write here account ID is long, in this case, it will try, the method will try, set long will try to get primitive value. But account is null. So it will not be able to do that. So it throws exception. In this case, you can handle using setObject method. It will handle null values automatically. Firstly, it checks. If it's null, it inserts null. If it's not null, it checks the actual type and then get necessary value. Okay, so here is the way how to handle the insert data which can be null. Just insert object. Very simple. Okay, the next, status must be always present, so I use set long. Okay, ok, if you already, as you already know, we use execute update with checking how many records insert into the base. Okay, so if it's more than 1 or more than 0, so we process, as I said, get key and set it into the order. If something went wrong, we roll back all changes and throw exceptions. So here, if we do that, throw exception, this the other code will not be executed, and just handling the exception, go and happens, and so we insert nothing. Is it okay? Any questions here?
No questions.
Okay, super. Then, and to insert product IDs, also I created new method. Insert order items. Okay, I put here order, products, and yet again connection. Okay, so it's okay or order it items here, so we can here is the SQL statement. Okay, and here we in the loop do process. Uh, one one hint I need to explain here. So we execute several products. We stop. Stop. Items. Stay. Execute. Execute. Update. Okay. Oh. Execute update. So I found the error. And I thought, why the total is no. But okay. So how does it work? If you remember properly, insert into the fields count price. Okay, count receipt ID, product ID, and count. We insert automatically, but we to take price already existing in database. We don't use any price in from incoming data. Why? It's business logic. Okay, we must not trust anyone. Okay, so ID now is product ID. We get it automatically. So insert tries to insert, but to do that it must read data. It has been readden, and only then data inserted. Okay. If something went wrong here, we do that in the loop. Be careful. So we can do that. We can add. Let's take a look. Let's take a look on the data here. Receipt ID is long. It cannot store data, any data except long. It's number. So here cannot be a script, SQL script. Okay. Product ID, the same. Count is integer, so it cannot keep data. So no. You can just, in this case, you can just manipulate strings. So this query can be prepared before our before we just before create prepare state. In the loop, we can create long query which consists of this part will not be changed, but this part added in the loop. Values, comma, values, comma, values, comma. So many times, if it's as it in this array. Okay, very useful, and it will work faster than we send many queries. Only this in this case, we can do that. Okay. So, test down. Something went wrong. Can't update table product stored function because it's already used by state invoked in function trigger. I understand. I did not understand. Why? Execute update. Cannot insert because something went wrong with my trigger. What is trigger? What is the trigger here? Here, just a moment. Receipt, update, so trigger. Here is the trigger. What is trigger in database? Who know what is triggers in database? No? Just dislike in this case, or like if no. If yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we
Yo,
don't know.
you know anything about triggers in databases? Dislikes. Okay, I got it. Trigger is the procedure which can be executed on data manipulation queries. Data manipulation means not selecting, not reading. It's creation, deletion, updation. Create, insert, create, update, delete. Okay, this kind of queries can be handled by triggers. And also trigger when you trigger belongs to a table and it can be executed or before changes or after changes. Okay, it will be executed every time for specific action and specific time, before or after. Here, here the trigger. Here is the trigger. Let me a bit. Okay. Here is trigger name. Before insert, receipt has product update total amount. So the name I chose like when and what. Yeah. So it changed updated our total amount before inserting receipt has product. Okay. So before insert, receipt has product for each row. Okay, here is a new amount. So it takes price from the database for the specific ID. Yeah. Okay, and select new amount for to the products to the products and And if something went wrong, not enough products, it signals like throwing exception. Yeah, then it updates product amount in the product table and set total value in the receipt in the query. Yeah, in the no in the receipt table for the specific row. Okay. Yeah. Why? Receipt product at the shop after deletion. After deletion. It should work. No, not the base selected. Just a moment. Maybe it already exists. And yeah, it was not. No, I was removed them, then I added it. So, just a moment. Something went wrong. So transactions cannot update table product installed function because already used in statement with invoked installed function trigger. Should work. Yeah, if you can see in function or trigger, it executes. So our trigger changed. So in this case, it seems to me we cannot do any except to creation creation full string request. Okay, or to make it working, I can try to comment this row. No, it doesn't work. Why? Cannot update product. Update product. Yeah, it cannot update product. So it cannot update the product. Let me execute it. Okay, let me try. Receipt product. Why? I'll check it. It worked fine. Okay, so we added. So uncomment this. New receipt. It has every time we receipt ID. We did not get it here, but it can be. Any questions here?
No questions.
Super. Let me switch here. Do I have to get all orders? Find by ID, optional receipt. Yeah, I have it. I have it. Receipt, return find by ID, connection. So if you can see, prepare statement. So where receipt, where ID. Yeah, and of course I have mapping function to allow me to get all necessary data for the receipt. And I explained, already explained, optional. It's highly recommended if you want to find something. Okay. Okay. If you don't have any questions more, I'd like to finish our discussions, our study databases, and I want to explain a bit about web because the next is creating web application and how should we do that. Okay, I'll okay, 5 minutes coffee break and then we continue.